So,
Yeah.
Martin, explain this exercise.
Okay, so what we do in this exercise is one of us explains their project in day science language.
Day science.
So with precise terms,
Just the facts.
just the facts, exactly, right? Scientific
No
terms.
anthropomorphisms,
No,
metaphors,
nothing of
no
that.
analogies.
Nothing of that.
Textable, precise language.
First day science language,
Day science.
and then repeat that in night science language, right?
Mhm.
Which means that there's no rules. You can do anything you want. You can use
No rules.
metaphors. No, that's what it is,
Right.
right? There's no restrictions. You can use metaphors, analogies, whatever. Anthropomorphisms.
And then we talk about the project in night science terms.
And then we talk about the
The
project.
language of
night science terms.
intuition, the language of discovery, ideas emerge.
Exactly. And when we get to a point where we think, oh, that's an interesting thought, we try to translate it back into respectable day science terms.
Because that's testable. And
Yeah.
that's the power of science, is this back and forth.
Exactly. It's the complementarity. Okay. Itai, do you have any projects you want to talk about?
Well, there's one.
Okay.
I call it AP1.
Okay. Hey, Lars, tell me in day science terms about AP1.
So in day science terms, what we're hypothesizing is that there is a set of dimers. This is how I draw a dimer that's present in each cell.
Mm-hmm.
These dimers within each cell are transcription factors. So they turn on other genes. Then there is a mechanism whereby the change in stress of the cell is fed back onto the dimers and stabilizes those that are present when stress goes down. And if stress goes up, it destabilizes. So
Well,
over
what
time,
does stabilize and destabilize mean?
so stabilize means protection from degradation.
Okay.
And destabilizing means that it induces degradation, like through the ubiquitin pathway.
Okay.
And so over time, what will happen is that a dimer, a very specific dimer, this could be like a different composition than the initial one, will be stabilized because it turns on those genes that set the state of the cell such that stress is reduced. I think that's day science language.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed there's a lot of metaphors in there.
It's really
like
hard to
stabilizing.
speak. It's really hard to speak without.
Like humans cannot speak without metaphors.
Everything is a metaphor. Like
Yeah.
stress is a
Yeah.
metaphor.
Yes.
Right? What is stress? Okay, but to the best of my abilities, I try to.
Yeah,
do
yeah.
it.
You know, that was day sciencey. Yeah,
So
I
that's
agree.
day science. Now let's try night science. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the night science is that AP1 is the puppet master, right? You know,
Okay.
you know how puppets can have,
Yeah, it's funny how you draw that. Yeah.
right? Puppets,
Yeah.
and it's pulling the strings on the mannequin, and many the very highly sort of choreographed motions could occur in the mannequin based on just simple changes, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so AP1 is like this puppet master. It can, with just a relatively fewer degrees of freedom, it can actually control a huge range of motion. So that's like a nice analogy. AP1 is the puppet master. Okay, now.
I don't get it, because puppet master sounds like somebody with a brain and a goal, whereas your AP1s, they're,
Well,
you know, each is just doing something, but without actually. Well, there's no script that they're following, is there?
they're in a sense. So yeah, so AP1 is without a script. It actually, in a sense, it goes through two phases.
Mm-hmm.
AP1 itself has night science and day science.
Yes.
AP1 explores. It's first like an explorer, and it tries different combinations, right? It's trying this and it's trying that. And then over time, it's really evolution. It's really like a little Darwin inside the cell. It's picking the pieces that work and
sorry, you were saying AP1 tries different things.
Yeah, it's like a little.
But who's AP1?
AP1 is the entire set, and yeah, I
Yeah.
mean it's an analogy, right? I mean you wanted to use
Yeah,
night
yeah,
science
no, yeah,
language,
no, exactly. But
but what
let's
is?
try to make the analogy
Well,
fitting.
I mean, just like in our brain,
Yeah.
there's really no part that's me. There's no, right? It's all a bunch
Yeah.
of many
Yes,
neurons that together create consciousness.
Yes.
We
Yes.
we
Yes.
believe, at least I do. Do you? Necessarily you.
Yeah.
But in the same way, this is that we call your brain, the brain, and what you want, like as though you're a collective whole. I'm talking about AP1 as a collective whole.
What I'm wondering is if a better or an alternative, not necessarily better, an alternative metaphor, analogy would be to say, well, each specific type of dimer, or maybe each dimer, is one puppet master with a certain program, like who will cause a certain
Oh, each one
range
is
of
a
motion,
puppet
right?
master.
And then you can replace, like you have all these puppet masters that play together,
Yeah.
and then some of them gets stabilized. What does that mean? Like what in the metaphor? What does it mean to be stabilized?
Stabilization means like okay. So we're making a choreographed dance.
Okay.
And all these puppets that they play a part in the dance, and if they do something good, they get to stay in the choreographed dance.
And you know what?
What?
Music is
Yeah.
the environment. Like your drug.
Oh, the music is
the
even, and they
music.
have to make a dance that
Yeah.
matches that music.
Exactly. So some of them actually dance to the music,
Oh,
and
yeah,
some dance to something different.
And if the music, yeah, I love that. And the music changes, they have to be like, oh, now it's like, so then only the ones that are going to, okay. And then
now you need the ravers.
Yes. And so what does stabilization mean in this analogy? Let's think. Like that, well, like who, why would they get kicked out?
Could there be a jury, that gives
Oh.
points, right? Like if you
They're
dance
like
to the music,
10.
they're gonna like 10, or if you're totally
Yes.
off the beat, right? You just be 1.
Yes. And then you have to be ushered out if you have a low number, low score.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Like in a talent show, right? Like you get voted out.
Yeah, they're each competing. But one thing that bothers me?
Yeah.
Maybe you can help me. What if there are effects that are not at the level of an individual, but rather multiple, sort of like a synergy? What if this alone doesn't reduce stress? This alone doesn't either, but together they do. That really complicates the model, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of like,
So maybe the puppets are dancing with each other.
they're doing
Like
a
this pair dance or like a line dance.
Yeah, well, what do you, like a line dance?
Yeah, and
They have
only when they're together.
Yeah, like imagine if it's a couple.
Yeah.
Right. This is truly night science language, right?
Yeah, so it has to be complementary.
Right. And then like the zip and but then how would it work with the score? Like wouldn't the score? See, the problem with the score is it has to be a global feedback on everything that's happening.
Score.
It's a global score.
Like the jury, they just look at the whole set of dancers and they say, "Oh my God, like this troupe is terrible, right?
Yes.
Or this troupe is beautiful."
Yes. So they're all dancing on the stage.
And what happens like if the jury says, "Yeah, right, like this troupe is getting there."
Yeah.
Like what happens in terms of stabilization?
Yeah, exactly. So what I'm imagining, this is a good thing to talk about, is that each person has a kind of keeps a record of some record of how well they're doing.
Okay.
Now, on the stage is where all the dancers are
they're collecting medals, maybe.
They're collecting medals. Yes,
Yeah.
they're collecting medals, right? And when they first appeared, there's no medals because they just appeared, right?
Yeah.
And then now maybe they came out and they did horribly well, but everybody around them somehow did better than average.
Mm-hmm.
They would actually get a medal too, even though they don't deserve it because they did something.
Well, they're part of the team.
They're part of the team.
Yeah.
Right. And so when we simulate this, then over time, it works. And it's such that really the point is that there's a conversion. It's a really interesting conversion from the global score that the judges make to what each dimer records on its own performance. Isn't that interesting? This conversion what's the analogy for that here? The transition from a global score to a local score. There's some,
I don't understand. I don't think I understand that transition
yeah,
because, if you just come on the stage, right, and then suddenly, the performance gets horrible because you like,
yeah,
you disturb everybody else, you should be voted out immediately, right?
yeah. I mean, if you're really bad, and you might
Yeah, but
even kill
it
the whole thing.
depends on that you just came on,
Yeah,
right? So then you should be, it's clear, like it's that
it's
guy's
that
fault.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah. If you've been there all the time, then
Well, you could
you know,
suffer the hit because if you've been there the whole time and you have a lot of medals, then just this little dip doesn't really change that much,
okay,
and it's going to influence more the new guy.
okay,
That dip. See that's the logic.
okay.
Uh, it's kind of like this rule that the longer you've survived, the longer you're expected to survive.
Like you just have more medals
Yeah,
that
that's what I
protect
mean
you.
by the stability.
Okay.
And so,
So
um,
what's the question then? That's the opposite. What's the question?
well, I'm wondering if one thing that we just said can be translated back into day science language.
Like which thing?
Well, I really like the little duets that we said that they dance together. They're dancing together. I'm wondering if there's mm, some kind of synergy that we can test back in day science language. How would that be? How would you be able to say, yes, we do give medals individually, but also, I mean, ideally you wouldn't need it. You don't need to account for that because it's not at that level. The right level is at individual.
Well, the right level at the end is the population, isn't it? Like it's the
Right.
whole troop,
Right.
right? That has to be right.
Right. But
So
my
so
hypothesis is that the stability measure is dimer specific
yes,
and not
but
two
so
dimers.
one possibility would be that things are additive, right?
Yeah, additive.
That the contribution of each dancer is independent from the other dancers.
Yes, that's a hypothesis. Okay,
Yeah.
the hypothesis is either it's additive or non-additive, like synergistic.
Yeah. Yes.
So is there a way to test that? That's interesting. Now we formulated a question and we can think about in day science, what would be the right experiment for an additive versus a non-additive? That's a good thing.
Yeah. I think that's interesting.
And now we have to think about experiments for that. And that I think that deserves a
To
whole
do
other,
that. Yeah.
but it's a good way to frame it. So
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
happy.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you. Thank you very much.